Hello, people. It's good to see you again. Welcome to the second podcast of this page. First of all, before I continue the next podcast, I think I should go back to the first podcast about the passions. So, did you find out your passions? I use the techniques of the very first podcast. So, if you found out your passion, so you can comment in this video, and if you have difficulty or the problem to find out your passion, so you can discuss with me. That's why so you can contact me via a check bar or something. So there's a reason I create the next podcast is I didn't expect about the first podcast and I got enough viewers and the reaction. That's why. So you guys fools me a lot and your reactions and viewers mean a lot to me. That's why. So yeah, I created it. So let's go back to the topics. And the topic is about should the students follow. It depends on the teacher to have a fluency in English for 100%. And after that, I'm gonna talk someday about to have a proficiency in English. I'm gonna talk about the tips to improve your skill. And the last one is about the speaking partner class. Okay, so the first one, I have to answer the questions of the podcast. And okay, so if I have a chance to talk about the title is should the students depend on the teacher 100% to have fluency in English? So from my perspective, the answer is no, absolutely no. The students shouldn't depend all the time because the teachers, to be honest, the teacher is trying to provide all the time, but the teachers can't create your own path. You have to create your own path, your own path, with the help of the teacher. The teacher is going to help you. The teacher are trying to provide the instructions and ways you have to follow. Yeah, so that's how I explain how the teacher help the student generally. The next one is I'm going to provide and I'm going to talk about to improve your English skill. In that meantime, how the teacher help the students. Okay, so in this one, in English, there's two things, literatures and English. And to explain about the literature is a little bit complicated, that's why. So for the example, I'm going to talk about the English language. I think all the people really know about once they heard about the language, there's a full skill like reading, writing, listening, and then speaking. So I'm going to talk about every single thing with the example based on my true story. Okay, the first one, if I talk about the reading section, first of all, I think if you attend your particular class in the prominent class or something, if you're making the study, so self-study, I think you have to choose the book that is really suitable with your level. If you're in the elementary level, you have to choose the elementary book, and after that, for the reading section, you might need to read a lot of the passage. So in real life, in analyzing the passage, there is a two skill. It's like skimming method. Skimming is not quite difficult. You have to read the passage generally and very quickly. And if you got the main ideas and the summary of the passage, that's enough. And skimming is a little bit quite challenging because you have to point out and describe the main facts detailedly and significantly. So if you really know to skill that one, so it will be really convenient to realize the passages. And after that, if you're gonna take the exam, that is, if you want to check your skill at the moment, you have to take exercises about the reading section at the time. If you have a problem or difficulty, so the teacher is going to help you to read exactly to know what is that in the passage. And in this meantime, I just want to talk about something. If you find out the new vocabulary, yes, most of the students try to use their native language dictionary. But in this meantime, if you want to really know about the English, I think I prefer to use the Cambridge Dictionary. So if you find out the new word, so once you go to the Cambridge Dictionary, so that explanation in English is not difficult. So they write the English language, and it, in other hand, so you can improve the reading skill while reading the passage, and on the other hand is while analyzing the Cambridge Dictionary. So yeah, it's really good, and I prefer to use it if you are really improve. If you crave to really uh, improve your skill. Okay, so and the next one is if you find out the new vocabulary every single time, I prefer to make a new sentence. Sorry. Yeah, your own sentence. Yeah. When I was elementary student, I guess elementary level. So every time once I find out a new vocabulary, I try to make my own sentences. And after that, I use that words when I speak and when I communicate with other person in English. Day by day, um, that is really convenient to remember. We don't need to memorize so much. It's like matriculation. So it is really a convenient way. That's why I want you to use it. And okay, so that's a reading section. That's how you need to improve. At that meantime, the teachers are gonna help you in their way. Okay, so the next one about the writing section. So to have a great proficiency in writing skill, I think you have to take the reference from the reading passage. You have to read. You have to analyze how they make sentence and how they use the vocabulary. Yeah, a little bit complicated, but in this meantime, there's a two language. It's like a formal and informal. Informal is like it's not difficult. When we speak in English, we're gonna use informal language. Okay, so for example, give is an informal. Instead of it, if we want to use formally, we have to use provide, offer, describe. So that's a difference. It's not too difficult. Yeah, in writing section, basically you have to use formal language. And in this meantime, so if you really know how to use the Cambridge Dictionary, you can know that's not quite challenging. You have an ability to distinguish which one is a formal words or informal words. And and after that, in the writing section, to be honest, there's a lot of writing text. For example, descriptive, informative, and the persuasive. There is a lot of things. At that moment, you might need the help from the teacher. The teacher is gonna help you to write the writing format and to add which kind of vocabulary in that passage. Now, which language you're supposed to use at the time. So the teacher gonna provide the guideline you have to follow. And if you really follow, if you accomplish the essay or writing text at the time, so you have to show that to the particular teacher at the time. So the teacher is gonna advise you if you have a mistake. At that moment, you have to try to realize which mistake you did and which one you have to fix. So yeah, day by day, you're gonna realize if you follow the instructions of the teachers. Yeah, so that's that's how you need to follow. Okay, so I talk about two level, two skill, and reading and writing. So let's move on to the listening sections. Yeah, in this meantime, I think which sounds and the podcasts about the BBC programs or Tech Talk, they are really helpful. Yeah, when I was in elementary student life, at that moment, well, whenever I come back from my school, I usually play that one. I usually play the podcast sound. Yeah, no matter how I listen or not. Maybe I'm gonna do chores while playing that way. And after that, um, I use something. So instead of, yeah, to be honest, I'm really bored to read the novel passages. That's why. So instead of it, I try to find out from YouTube. It's like elementary story. It's like audio. Instead of reading it, I try to listen the audios, the elementary audios. Whenever I'm gonna Winnie Boo, I'm gonna take a nap or something. At that moment, I try to listen. Yeah, because the elementary story are not too difficult, and if the vocabulary are so easy, at that moment you can improve your listening skill day by day. Yeah, and to if you want to make significant self study, I think I prefer there's a lot of books, and after that, okay. So I just want to talk something in this moment. So after this podcast, so I'm gonna provide a link about the book. You can make a self study about the listening sections or something like that. You can download and you can try to find out these the particular audios. Yeah. So yeah, you have to do it. You have to uh, read the course books and try to listen to the audios, and after that you have to make the exercises. At the moment, yeah. In this meantime, I just want to talk about something. Um, uh, so to be honest, for me, from my perspective, so there's a lot of accent, but among them, British accent is really important, really quite difficult to realize that word. Yeah, if you want to take the IELTS exam or TOEFL at the moment, you might need the help from the teachers to catch the kinetic sounds and about the phrase about the phonetic skill. You might need that one. Yeah, you have to learn that way. So, yeah, the teachers. Yeah, what I want to say is to realize some difficulty in the reading section. So the teachers gonna provide the ideas to catch the significant words, and so that the student could get their grade skill. Okay, so we talk about the three skill. That's why I think we have to go ahead to the last skill about the speaking sections. Okay, so before I explain about the speaking sections, this meantime, I just want to talk about something that I heard about. Yeah, most of the people in this country talk about they can write and they can read and they can listen, but they have some difficulty to speak in English. So for the people, I just want to advise something. So you don't need to care about the grammatical mistake if you are in the elementary level, and if you start talking for the first time, you don't need to care, and you have to talk about the main message in your speech. And in the speaking skill, there's two things like writing section. So it's like a formal and informal. So yeah, if you are the great positions and the some company or the presidents at that moment, you have to talk about the formal language. You have to use the words from the writing section. So, and if you're trying to communicate with the students or about the family members at that moment, yeah, it's okay. You can use whatever you want. But informal English doesn't mean with the grammatical error. You have to use the great and accurate grammatical sentence and grammatical words. And in this meantime, I just want to talk about how I improved the English skill when I was elementary school. Yeah, I think maybe last 5 or 6 years at that moment, I try to find the community that speak English, but I can't. That's why. So finally, I found it. The application about it's Omegle. It's like a random talking around the world. Yeah, and I used it. And whenever I find out a new guy from another country, so I try to communicate and I try to make an introduction about my name and where I when I am fluent on something. And for some people, yeah, they try to skip it, but for the minority at the time, so I try to communicate and I try to ask as much as I can about the English, about what's just happening in your country, or I try to explain what happening in my country. Yeah, yeah. So that's I try to communicate, and I use some application to find out the great community, the society that speak in English. So yeah, and after that, if you want to take and if you have ideas to go study abroad at that moment, I think you have to take the exam. I mean, significant exam. It's like IELTS or TOEFL. So at that moment, so you might need the help of the teachers. Because the teachers gonna control you, not talking your speech out of the boundary. Because in the speaking session, we can talk randomly and we can talk about the topics aimlessly. That's why, so the teacher is going to help you to talk formally and to cope with your idea, the way you talk especially. So yeah, that's how you need to improve, and that's an instruction how you need to follow it. So yeah, I talk about the 3 skill, and so it can be set there tips to improve your skill. I think you're gonna follow it. And the next one, okay. So yeah, if I talk about if I have a chance to talk about the title again, so the teachers, can't create your own spectacular part. You have to create your own paths, and the teachers can help you to have a proficiency in English, and that's why so I provided example when you're analyzing language skill. So yeah, I think you're gonna understand about the teacher quality and how you need to do as a student. So I wish you will be really convenient with by using the techniques and my advice of me. And the last one is I'm gonna talk about the speaking as partner society. So I think I'm thinking about to create that society game. So in that one, so I'm gonna create a Zoom link and I'm gonna make some Google form if you want to participate and to talk about some topics in English. I'm gonna provide topics and I will say someday. And if you talk in English, if you're making a speech at the time, if you have a mistake or something, so I'm gonna suggest and I'm gonna fix you as much as I can. So yeah, I think coming in the following day, I'm gonna make that kind of society. I mean the online society. So I think I think this is all for now because this video is so this too much. That's why whatever it is. So thanks for giving the full attention to this time, and I'm gonna try to give the tips, English tips to improve your skill as much as I can. So thanks for attention, and yeah, thank you.